Officer Sieber, court officer in Schenectady County, 4th Judicial District.
I'm Guthries Benson, and I'm a court officer for the Southern Command of Schenectady, and also work in the 4th JD.
We've both been on for 5 years.
Yeah.
We were in the same academy together, and I started here in Schenectady County Court, and been here ever since.
Out of the academy, I went to Herkimer Multi-Bench, and I was there for about 2 years, and I got my transfer back here, which is home.
And honestly, to be sent into a busy command right out of the academy is a blessing. It's fun. You get to work with the people that you went through that academy process with, and then you go into the same command with. And sometimes people get transferred in like he did, and then you can see your brothers and sisters all over again. It's nice. For us in this command, at least in county court, you're sort of moved to different posts on different days throughout the week. So you're not just stuck doing one thing all the time. So, for me today, it might be working at the front, doing the screening for everyone who comes into the courthouse, the magnetometer and the x-ray, vouchering weapons, getting people through the security process, doing pat-downs, giving them directions. The next day might be with a judge in a courtroom like this. It's ever-changing. It's nice.
Yeah, family court is definitely kind of a different animal. We deal with so many different things: custody struggles, visitation struggles, and child support. And a lot of times people are bringing their children into the courtroom with them or the courthouse. And so a lot of times it's just kind of managing that, and it can get kind of loud, as you can imagine. We have a couple different judges that we oversee. So just trying to maintain order in the courtroom with some very tough scenarios. It could get kind of heated, and when things get going, it happens fast. But being that it's a family court type setting, you definitely have to have a little bit more of a soft approach, and you have to be good with the public and a little bit more understanding of where they're coming from.
I work out almost every day, eat healthy. It's good to be able to decompress after the day. But also, it's a lot easier to stay sharp, I guess you would say. I think, and I think Officer Benson does the same thing, is we are not afraid to check in with everyone we're working with, talk to the public, sort of see what's going on in our own community, see what's going on in our courthouse. That kind of keeps you sharp when you know what's going on, besides just going home and working out or eating something healthy. You know what I mean?
I'm jealous that she works out. I would say it's just my typical mental preparation, coming in the morning, setting all my schedules out, just trying to get my mind in the state, in a mind frame of what I have going on. So just knowing what my day is going to kind of be like, and just try to set the roadmap for the day.
Yeah, that's one thing the academy will teach you, is to get organized, squared away, as we call it, so that you really don't have to think. You're just organized, you're set up, you have good habits. It keeps you prepared for any chaos you might get into in the day, I think a lot of it translated well, yes, into working here in Schenectady. It's hard to say, like for me personally, it lets you know how capable you are, how strong you are of handling literally anything that comes in front of you, no matter how chaotic it looks, or from like the active shooter training, you just surprise yourself. And it's a challenge that you have to overcome, and that you will overcome. And you can do it because you have your brothers and sisters there with you, or because you are individually capable of achieving anything that the job's going to ask of you. So like family court or here in county court, it's intense, it's emotional. People are upset, people are mad, people are anything. They're happy, they're sad, they're whatever. You're squared away, you're confident, you're strong, you know what you're doing, the job, and then you just let it come to you. Just like the academy, except real life.
The academy mirrors the job in another way, where you're going from long periods of time sitting at a desk, there's not a lot going on, and suddenly the instructor excuses you and it's go, go, go. You got to get dressed quick. You have to be doing whatever it is that they want you to do quick, whether it's laying out the chairs, stacking the chairs, coming to parade rest. Yeah. And so that kind of mirrors our job. A lot of our job is following orders, and there's a lot of downtime on our job. But when things do go wrong. It happened very fast, and you have to be prepared and you have to respond quickly and professionally. And I think that's another way that this job mirrors the academy.
I thought a lot about this because working in law enforcement it's something that I wanted to do, and I didn't know what part of law enforcement I wanted to go into. And choosing to be a court officer was a home run. I think it is the most unique position you can be in law enforcement because you have the ability to interact with the public in a very unique way. You know, they're coming into a somewhat controlled environment, and you have this opportunity to have a positive moment with them. Someone that you interact with that might have a negative idea of who you are because of what you do, and you're kind to them, or you actually care about what's going on, or you're willing to help them, or you're willing to do anything, and you see that shift in their perspective. And it is like getting a raise. It's the coolest thing.
I think with law enforcement who have a beat in the territory, you know, they're the first ones responding to situations, but they sometimes they don't get to see the outcome of the situation that they did. And we get to see the outcome. And I find it fascinating, and I enjoy seeing the results of those cases that law enforcement has to go out on, you know, but we're not doing it in the rain and the snow and in those really hot days. And, you know, everything comes to us and we get to control the atmosphere. So I really do appreciate that aspect. This is definitely probably the safest job in law enforcement that you can possibly have.
It is different and it's unique. You bring a softer side to law enforcement, but you know when you have to be really strong, really assertive. You can do what the guys do, but you respect having them around all the time. And there's plenty of times when, as a female, your strengths will be called on before them. I kind of call the female officers the professional de-escalators, because it's just someone could be super combative with one of the guys, and all of a sudden the girl officer walks up and it's like their blood pressure lowers. You know, all of a sudden they can have a conversation. And not to take anything away from the guys, that's not like they can't do it. It's just when you see it, when you watch it, people just react differently. And I think people will be surprised by how tough you can be when they're like, oh, she just said that. I didn't expect that out of her, you know? So it's like, I think it's the coolest thing. You know, I had one cool experience in court one time. There was a female judge, female attorneys, female staff, and female court officers in the whole, I mean, just all looked around like, well, we might not see that for a long time, but it was a very cool, very empowering feeling.
And like you said about women being able to de-escalate certain things better than men, you understand a lot of the women that come to the courthouse have history of domestic violence and just in general don't trust men. So they do respond to women quite differently. Almost it's disarming and like she says, brings a softer touch to a lot of people who need it in some of their worst times of their life.
I think if any women are thinking about taking the job and they might be hesitant about how hard it might be to go through the academy or to put on all this gear, do all these things and be responsible for every power that you're given in this job, you are so much more capable, so much stronger than you think that you are. You got to try it. You got to go for it. Just do it. If you think it's something you'd be interested in, I think this job specifically is very, I mean, how could you not, you know, as a woman? Like I specifically chose this job because I was like, I want to have a family one day. You know, this is good. It's good to exercise how strong you are physically, mentally, and you can literally do anything in this position as a woman.
This has been so far a very rewarding career in the 5 short years that I've been here. Got a little bit of ways to go, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the future has and see how I grow and learn on the job. And for anybody looking to be a court officer, I would say if you start getting canvassed after you've taken the exam, you know, don't let your guard down and try to, you know, live a high level of integrity, and it just makes getting on the job that much easier. And don't do anything that you'd be embarrassed to have to explain away. You know, just buckle down and try to live a clean life, and just make getting on the job just that much easier.
Yeah, I would say to new recruits, don't let your past jobs or past experiences deter you from taking the job. We went through each recruit one by one in our academy on some downtime, and everyone said what they did before they became a court officer or before they came into the academy. And we had everyone from like a 21-year-old who pushed shopping carts to, I don't know, people who ran businesses and stuff. And it's so cool because it's like your little alter ego. It's like we do the same thing. We all look the same with our same uniform and everything. And then it's like, oh, you owned a deli before this? Oh, you were in corrections before this? Oh, this is your pretty much first real job?
We all couldn't be more different.
It was so cool because once you get on, you're sort of like, this is what we do. And you almost forget about that past life, but it's all of your life experiences, everything that actually qualifies you to be in law enforcement because you're just a real human.
Yeah, definitely be patient, stick with it. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's like winning the lottery.
Yeah.